Hey, everybody. Excited for another cold email review today. What's up, AJ? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Excited for roast number, what is this, 8 or 9 or something?
Yeah. Yeah, we're keeping the momentum up, and every time we're getting people to submit. We actually got someone to submit today from the group. So I'm excited to review their email.
Awesome.
And then, as always, I think just go into some stuff that we've learned over the last few weeks, even from our own outreach, because I know we had that really awesome webinar that you did with me. We both did together on the 22 common mistakes of people for lead gen. So I think that's really cool. And the person who submitted was, I believe it was, let me go.
Ben?
Email. Yeah. Let me pull that up right now. So we got that one in here. We can pull it up and grab it. So we got Ben. Yeah. Let me share my screen. We can go into it. So
Ben sells video and photo content creation services to builders.
Amazing. Yeah, we can pull up the website here. So we got Light and Lines. Perfect. To help you build a long-lasting, successful building company, land those dream projects, dream clients, and ultimately make more money. Cool. I like the free workshop idea. That's what I do, which is pretty sweet. Business growth for builders and learn the 5 steps to creating a long-lasting, successful building company. Yeah, that's cool. I'd be really interested to actually see how that's going for them because I know I do workshops as well, and they've been working really well. Very interesting. Very short, which is fine because that's getting the right kind of clicks probably. So here's the message. This is the original outreach message. Can you see this already, AJ?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, mate, no doubt you're busy, so I'll keep this brief. I specialize in content, specifically builders, and help guys work with ideal clients and consistently get higher end projects under their belt. Part of what I do is a fixed cost solution, take the headache off you and give you everything you need from your first slab right through your first finished build on your website. More importantly, you get your time back so you can get on with the building and running the business. The guys I currently work with have reported great results, and now I'm kicking it up a gear so I can help even more builders with it. I'm looking for a few extra guys to help grow this, and in return, they get it at a pretty heavily discounted rate, saving about $2,000. If this is something you might think might work for you, just reply yes to this message. I'll be in touch with a bit more info. Cheers, Ben. What are your immediate thoughts?
Well, we're definitely going to say it's too long because every time someone sends an email, it ends up being a little too long.
I know. I always put this here. I'm like, why is it? Put that right at the top. I don't know. Maybe I need to make it more clear.
And just to, I guess just talk about that for a second. Even though we say that every time, you could still always test long copy as long as it's like you're also testing much shorter ones because that should be always the go-to, right? Like, it has to be quick. People would just, if it's a long email, most people skim it. So you're banking on hopefully they skim across the right parts of it,
100%. And I see he also has an amended version, which is, hi, no doubt you're busy, so I'll keep this brief. As you know, there's a lot of amazing architects, and choosing the right one isn't an easy job for a client. How do you pick one? They all do amazing work. I'm launching a specific type of content designed to make it a lot easier for you to be the obvious choice for your ideal clients and have them invested in you, your process and values, and your results, not what you charge. I've tried this with a few builders who have reported great results. So now I'm looking for a few architects to help me launch for this side of things. In return, you get this at zero risk, meaning it's not going to cost you a cent. If you're not convinced this can bring value to your business, if this sounds interesting to you, reply yes to this message, and I'll be in touch with more info. I do like how easy it is to respond. That's pretty cool. Haven't yet seen anybody do that with one of the email submissions. So that's neat. That's cool.
Yeah, I think he's got, so actually the positive elements would be that he's got the value prop and the problem and the lingo nailed really well because I think when you say everything you need from your first slab right through to the finished build, that instantly builds trust. That's like instant rapport, right? Because okay, this guy knows my industry, he's using my terms. That's why I think it's really important to be niched down in some way because then you can talk like you're an insider. Yeah, and they'll trust you over other people.
100%. And I had I did a webinar yesterday, and on the webinar, I was actually talking about something I had heard. Maybe it was from our other webinar we did, the one the other day. I can't remember if it was you where I heard this or something. It was very recent, but it was the whole idea of your email inbox being like a social media feed and thinking of it as pattern interrupt. And I think you might have mentioned this.
Yeah.
So I love that concept because what it really does, I think, at the end of the day, is it looks at your feed and says, okay, you have to, if you've heard of the phrase like peacocking, standing out, and like being different, you have to, or like the purple cow concept, right? You have to be different. And that applies to email just as much as it applies to any social media post. And so if you seem different, it doesn't matter how good your actual product is. If you seem the same as everyone else, then you're not going to get as many clicks just because they're going to think it's the same, right? So I would say, just Ben, for something to think about here, like you may just want to reword it or make it more specific or shorter or even just a little punchier because it just might sound the same as everyone else. Now, part of the reason why, like, I'll bring this up for a sec, like part of the reason why we've been focusing so much inside the software on these lead magnets and stuff is because it's a way to make it sound different, right? Like you immediately are purple cowing everything. Because when somebody, for instance, I'll pull up one of the agencies that I like inside the software who has a pretty good value prop. Like if you look at, Austin Benoit, who's in our group, he is, wait, how do I, Austin? Oh, I spelled his name wrong. Austin, right? We'll run your first 750 SEO project for free. So if I was like getting that email, and even when I look at his profile, my immediate thought is, wow, this is pretty cool. Like I get this for free. Are you kidding me? Okay. And then you just reply yes, right? So you're getting like a instant reaction. So if you're not having that reaction, or if you give the email to someone and they're not having that reaction, then you need to keep working on it until you get that reaction. There needs to be like a physical reaction, to what you're writing. So
yeah, totally, dude. It's all about pattern disrupting because you're definitely not the first person to cold email them. Actually, can you pull up Ben's again real quick?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think we talked about how it's really good because it's niche and it's using specific lingo, has the problem and the value prop now. And those are the most important ingredients of the cold emails, like the problem and then the outcome or the result, right? Those are the two. If you only said those two things, that's how you can keep an email 3-4 sentences, right? So honestly, I think for you, Ben, I think this has really good meat to it. Just make it much shorter. Like keep it the same content, just make it shorter. You could probably cut it in half by removing filler words or saying it quicker or even just taking out some of the sentences, right? Like you really have to just be trying to, when I'm like looking at a cold email, I'm literally just trying to chop down words as much as I can. It's just like my mission is to chop them down and make it shorter. Because again, if it's on their mobile, they have to scroll down and they're not always going to do that because when people are going through their email, like you have to think always about the platform, right? If someone's on YouTube, okay, they're sitting there, they're going to watch a lot of stuff, right? Maybe. But if someone's on their email, like I go into my email in the morning, I'm just trying to get through all of it as fast as possible so I can do some real work, So yeah, like a lot of times that's why the brevity of it is so important. So as an example, I'd say, no doubt you're busy. I'll keep this brief. That could be removed. That last call to action, it's kind of cool, but you could just say like, hey, interested to learn more, much quicker, right?
Right.
And then I think the rest of it, you can just keep those sentences, but make them shorter. Like for example, the guys I currently work with have reported great results and now I'm kicking it up. So you could just say like client XYZ grew his business, grew 4X and now I'm kicking, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And you can do that with every sentence, right?
I don't want to underestimate here too. One thing that I think people are underestimating a lot is I don't want to underestimate the value of like Trojan horsing your way into businesses. So for instance, the reason why I've been promoting the podcast a ton is because you get people to say yes to the podcast and then you can convert them into a client naturally, right? And most of you guys listening and most of the people that I work with and most normal cold email campaigns have like 1 in 100 response rate, right? So if you think about it, if you can get someone to say yes to anything that they're interested in, anything that would get like an emphatic yes, it could be a podcast. I was actually just doing this today for someone who works with like municipalities, like governments, and all those municipalities, they're interested in community engagement and stuff. So I was like, look, don't sell your CRM. Instead, what you should do is sell. Try to give them like I'm compiling 10 new ideas that you can use for community engagement, right? And then that's much more interesting to them. And you could say, hey, I have a community engagement workshop that I want to invite you to. And then they'll still say yes to it because their problem every day is community engagement. Like they're struggling with community engagement. And so if you can get them to say yes to that, all you have to do is just have a higher than 1 in 100 conversion rate into sales meetings, which you most likely will if you can at least just talk to them. So I think that's the main thing you need to think about when you're thinking about these campaigns is like, how can you Trojan horse it? Like, how can you just get into the company? And then once you're in there, you'll have a higher closing rate to sales meetings just because you're talking to them, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, actually, no, I like that perspective. I used to think that lead magnets should always be directly related to your offer, like solving the same problem. But I've changed my mind on that because just from hearing your perspective that ultimately it could be something different that's valuable to them just to get them in your world and to talk to you, right? So yeah, that's really cool.
Well, and also one thing I've been really thinking about in the last few days is, so this is a technique that my business partner learned from working at Mass Mutual. He said that the top sales rep of Mass Mutual used to do this, and I've started doing it in the last week, and it's worked really well. Is if you want more testimonials for your business and you want more referrals, it's actually a science. It's so simple. Actually, I've realized all you have to do is you do the initial meeting, you teach them everything. And then in order to get them to convert, you basically say, look, you could do this all on your own, or I can help you with this. If you want me to help you with it, then this is the price. And if they don't convert for any reason, then what you do is you say, look, I know the price is a little steep for you, or I know that you think you can do this on your own. That's totally fine. I'll still take another meeting with you if you can send me a referral. And the thing is, if the actual free consultation, if you want to call it that, is something valuable, like a workshop, or it's something that they're getting that's actually a ton of value. Like for us, we just start running the lead gen campaigns for people. Like we don't even ask them to pay us. We just start running it. They're going to be willing to tell their friends about it. And almost every business owner knows another business owner. It's not painful because all they have to do is say, hey, I'm working with this company and they have this unique thing going on where they'll just start working on your campaign for free, right? Like they'll just start working on it for you. And then you get these referrals. You get referrals for meeting with someone. So like they don't need to pay you all the time in monetary dollars. They can pay you in referrals because they want to, because they want the help, but they can't afford it. But they know a bunch of people, you know? So that's how you get a ton of referrals. That's how you basically make it where you never have to do lead gen again, because you just work off of like 20 people that just send you a referral every week, you know?
Yeah, maybe we can do a little switch it up one Thursday and do a little masterclass in getting referrals or something. That could be cool.
That could be really sick. Yeah. I was even thinking for these, man, it might make sense to, when they send the message, we could even just write a new message for them, you know?
Yeah, we did that on episode 3, I think, for Umar, if I remember correctly. I think that's good fun too, because that's really, and then that's even giving more value to all the lovely folks in the community here.
Yeah, and so I think maybe, you know, for next week, anybody who submits it, because I know we're coming up on time here, anyone who submits it will actually rewrite your email for you and come up with a new one. Yeah.
You only have to pay us $5,000. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we'll rewrite it and get it going and see how that works. But man, this is always fun. So if anyone has anything they want to, you know, go through for next week, feel free to hop on in. Tell your friends about it, you know, stay involved, stay active. We're looking forward to helping you guys next week. So thank you, everybody watching.
See you guys. See you next week. Send us some submissions so we can help you out with your outreach. See you soon.